Who's your NFL Coach of the Year?
Well, Mark, there are so many of them that you have to go back and you have to look at it. But I don't just look at the coach. I look at the entire program. You can't win without a great general manager, without good leadership, with the ownership, et cetera. But I think there are about 5 good candidates. Hey, Green Bay, he hasn't lost 2 games in a row. His record there is absolutely outstanding, and they have the best record in the league at the present time. You can't overlook Cincinnati and what they did. I mean, they went from last to winning what they thought was a very competitive North Division to win that. I think the Titans deserve an awful lot of credit for what they've done. They were supposed to be on the downward slope, and then they lost Derrick Henry for half the year, which was a primary focus of their offense. He's done a tremendous job there. I also think the Dallas Cowboys, for years they've been close but never really matured. I think they have a chance to win it all this year if they get hot. And then the last one you have to look at, Philadelphia making a playoff. I mean, that is almost unheard of. And they have 3 first-round draft picks next year, Mark. And then, of course, I think you have to look at the Cards. I know that they've been a little disappointing lately, but the fact is that they're in the playoff right now. They're a very, very threatening team to anybody after beating the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas last week.
Coach, first it was the Washington football team where players are fighting on the sidelines. Then it became the Los Angeles Rams where players are fighting on the field. Have you ever coached any teams where you've had such animosity with players against each other?
No, I try to explain to the team the opposition's on the other side of the field, not on ours. But it goes back to society, Mark. I think everybody worries now, but you can't disrespect me. When somebody puts a hand in your face, well, you're disrespecting me, I'm going to react on it. Doesn't matter which team or anything else. I think you have to have some discipline, understand about the football team being together and caring about one another. You can't win if you don't have a love and a feeling, Mark. You participated on 3 Super Bowl championship teams. You understand what I'm talking about. You had a love and a feeling in the offensive line, called the Hogs. And I mean, you took great pride in protecting John Riggins or whichever quarterback happened to be in there. But having that love and that feeling, that's why I think that the Rams might be in a little bit of trouble. Matthew Stafford has never won a playoff game, but let's remember this. He was with the Detroit Lions, and they haven't won a playoff game in a lot of years.
Coach, Antonio Brown, what are your thoughts? Do I have to ask anything more about that? That situation was about the weirdest thing I've ever seen in football.
Well, I think this, Mark. I think that both sides are at fault. Now, when you listen to Antonio Brown, he said he had a bad ankle. He couldn't go into the game. They wanted him to go into the game, and he didn't go. And consequently said, you're no longer part of this organization. And so with that being said to him, he took off his clothes, his pads, and walked out. But how could that have been eliminated? I think I learned a long time ago, I'm not a doctor. I am not smart enough to know when somebody's injured. I told our players, you are responsible to 1 or 2 coaches, either the medical staff or my team. Now, if you're injured, you don't need my approval to go see the medical profession. The doctors would then come to me and say, he can't play, he's out. Okay, that's fine. If the doctors come and say he can play, and he doesn't want to play, then that's a different story completely. But you can't make a decision whether somebody's eligible physically to play in a football game. I can understand how Antonio Brown, when I first saw it, I thought, good riddance, boy, that guy shouldn't be in the NFL. But after hearing his side of it, and I don't know what's true, what isn't true, but it could be eliminated by saying you either report to the doctor or you report to me. That's simple.